we've got two expert presenters tonight who I'm sure will convince us that social media is in fact everything it's cracked up to be, and perhaps even better than sex, Jared.
Somewhat.
Thank you.
Socially though, in a group can be better.
Now I know why it's called social.
Meant to be quiet in these.
That wasn't a planned gag, but I'll blame him for that. Look, before we hear from those experts, can I say on behalf of AMI Tasmania, welcome. What a great turnout, fantastic turnout in fact. And we acknowledge the presence of the AMI President, Vanessa, welcome. And terrific you could be here. I'd be surprised if you weren't, but it's good you're here. And also her fellow board members who are scattered amongst the crowd tonight. And Lucinda Bray, the new State Manager of the AMI. Luce, would you stand up please, because you're going to be a new face to a lot of people. Turn around.
Hello.
Lucinda. And Luce, well done for pulling together tonight. Tonight is your work. Now, Luce is a public relations consultant at Pt1 PR here in Hobart, and since the beginning of the year has been the State Manager of the AMI. So terrific that you could pull off tonight. First event of the year, it is May, but we won't go into that. Only being serious. And look, while we're talking of Pt1 PR, I need to thank the whole team at Pt1, but also particularly Beecher Townsend, the Principal. Beech, would you stand up please? Now, the reason you're clapping, just so you know, Pt1 is sponsoring tonight. Like any good event, you need a sponsor. Without a sponsor, they just are very hard to do. So Beecher, credit to you and thank you on behalf of everyone that's turned up tonight. Did I mention I'm doing some strategic work at Pt1? And Beecher says I'm doing a reasonable job, but he's been quite impressed with what he calls my shameless self-promotion. And I have no idea what he's talking about. But, well, can you see it? A visual gag doesn't work if you can't see it from the back row. My wife said leave that at home, but I thought I'd try it anyway. But shameless self-promotion is all about marketing, in my view. I fell into it. I was the co-founder of the Henry Jones across the road, and we were I'm told, we were a PR triumph. And we were, because internationally we had New York Times writing stories about us and doing some great stuff. I know nothing about PR, by the way. I say I have an intuitive understanding of marketing. I think that's what people say when they have no formal qualifications or don't really know what they're doing. But when you've got a good product, it helps. The reason I raise it is this. Had we opened a hotel tomorrow instead of in 2004, we would have done it completely differently. Largely because of social media. Completely differently. In just, 6 years. So I'm really interested to hear from our speakers tonight. So with that, I'm delighted to introduce a local social media guru to talk to us about Soul Beer on Facebook, and filming tonight's presentation up there in the far corner for the whole world to see on YouTube is a man who used to be the frontman for a hardcore folk band. A man who says he's in the process of making beards cool again. Please welcome, from Red Jelly, Jared Lowe.
Hello. First I'd like to say is, yes, we are filming, so if I collapse after the 3.5 litres of beer I've had, please just fill that awkward silence with clapping. Well, let's see if I can work out the technology of this thing. Now, you've moved my paperwork and all my stuff. Crazy kids. Right. Right, we are having some difficulties already, which is very exciting. I was quite nervous, but now that things aren't going so well, I'm right as rain. It's up. Oh, look out, heaven forbid. Let's change the lighting, bring it down a notch because we're very intimate tonight. You'll notice I talked a little bit lower there. Marketing can be sexy. Okay, I'll get to what I'm doing. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jared Lowe, and I'm a copywriter / social marketing enthusiast working within the creative department at Red Jelly right here in Hobart. I've been asked to speak to you tonight about experiences, success, but most importantly, lessons learned dealing with social marketing, particularly in regards to one of our clients, Soul Beer. I'd first like to start off tonight by saying that what we're doing here together beneath this roof, in this room, that concept of this, of a brand or people sharing content and distributing that, is not vastly different from social marketing. Let me take you through this if that made absolutely no sense. Worked a lot better in rehearsal. So here we go. Here we are in this room. I'm represented by this man wearing a tie. I have got a tie on. Think of AMI as the umbrella brand. Beneath that you have the content. Relevant content spread out to a relevant audience, and that's you. Now what if we took that concept of taking relevant content and spreading it to a relevant audience and took that to the social marketing platform? Well, very exciting things. More exciting after 3.5 beers, I can tell you. So here we go. We've got AMI as the umbrella brand. Beneath that, we've got our content. Now, instead of our content going directly out to an audience, you lovely folks, it's getting spread out over social media, through social media channels and social networking platforms. And this is great because what happens here is that that content ends up in a greater audience. An audience still of like-minded people, but an audience nonetheless. The audience can then take that content and share it amongst themselves. They can also share it amongst their social media channels and their social networking platforms. But what's great is that they can also give me real-time feedback and response without looking like that guy in the front row who is probably going to ask too many questions. Turns out that's Russ and he won't, so that's fantastic. Well, it was. I thought we agreed you wouldn't talk during my thing. Moving on. The possibilities of social marketing are massive. That's all you need to know. But the shift to thinking socially is not. Marketing principles remain. We still need a marketing plan. We still need marketing objectives. And wipe your brow, we're all still in a job. We need marketing professionals now more than ever before. Social marketing is not a strange concept. It's simply word of mouth on a bigger scale. And to steal a quote from Eric Qualman, author of Socialnomics, it's word of mouth. Give them something good to talk about and they will. Give them something worth sharing and they'll share it. Give them something engaging and they will act. But first we have to understand this, that if you want to get anything out of social marketing, you'll need to be a social marketer. And what I mean by this is that you'll need to be willing to engage with your audience and to relate to them. If you can understand that social marketing is smashing those two words together, social and marketing, you've basically got the essence and the core and the fundamentals of social marketing, and you're willing to leave. You're able to leave. Though unlike the digital realm, I'll be able to see you do this and may or may not point you out before you make it to the door. Now, social marketing bridges the gaps between brands and consumers. Social marketing can help you strengthen your above-the-line activities, but also find new below-the-line opportunities. The concept of social marketing is nothing new. Take this man, for example. No, not Charlton Heston, but rather Moses. Now, if we can move past the ridiculous analogy, if we think like this, we think that religion is the brand, Moses is the channel, the 10 Commandments are the content, and Moses is set out with an objective. His objective is to turn strangers into friends, fans, and followers. And the only tool that he had to do, the only tool that he had at his disposal was word of mouth. Now, whether you believe in this story or not, or believe in religion or not, you've at least heard the story. Amazing. So hats off to Moses, early social marketer. Now, he achieved everyone knowing this without a general above-the-line spend up until perhaps this movie was made. There was no press ad. There was no billboard. There was no taxi back. There was no cinema spots. There was only word of mouth, and that was very successful. Some people may argue with this analogy and say that we had some pretty high up people in PR, but nonetheless, essentially, social marketing is a two-way conversation. It's creating a dialogue and creating a friendly space for people to share content. And it's simple. We share and they share. These days, we are simply trading in the cave wall of old for the Facebook wall of new.